Hello guys, and welcome back to another episode of our Hot Lap Challenge. And today's car that we're going to be sending around the Broadway Village circuit is this. The 1967 Corvette Stingray. It is a very good looking car. I love this car. I know pretty much anyone who knows this car loves this car. It is a fantastic car, fantastic looking, sounding. It's just a good car. And today we're going to be taking it around the Broadway Village circuit to see what kind of time it can set and if it can compare to the other cars that have gone around recently. Currently, just to refresh your memory, our top time holder is Godzilla itself, the Nissan Skyline GTR R32. It set a time of 49.824 seconds. Really fast. Not the fastest car I've driven around the track. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The fastest car that I've driven around the track is the Acura RSX. I managed a 49.411 with that car, but I'm not including it in the times here because I had some like 9 laps to drive the car around, more than that even. I built it 3 different times. That was part of the drag tire test video. If you haven't seen that video, go watch it. It's really insightful on how the drag tires affect cars in this game. But anyways, getting back to this car and the video at hand, our rules for the series are I get one car, I build it to the top of A class. I don't get to change the driveline or the engine. So either of those options are out. I just can't do that. I can do aspiration conversions, that's fine. The only instance where a driveline or an engine conversion may be applicable is if the car just physically cannot get to the top of A class without it. In that case, I will consider it, but even then I may just scrap the whole video, start over with a different car. It's all up to my discretion. But in the case of this car today, we've got a car that starts mid B class, so it should be able to hit top of A class just fine. After that, when I bring it to the Broadway Village circuit, I've got 6 laps to drive it around. 3 laps are those just me getting a feel for the car, feel for the track again, talking about the car, discussing how it feels, just general things going on, thoughts I have. And then the 3 laps after that, I get 3 laps just to focus, be quiet, and go for the best time I can possibly get. And hopefully, in the case of this car, we'll get a pretty good time. I don't really know what to expect out of this car. It could be pretty good, it might not be. I think generally this car winds up being a heavier one. This one might actually wind up being the heaviest one in the series. I'm not entirely sure. We'll have to see how that goes. It might end up being around the 3,000 pound mark. I'm not entirely sure. But anyways, I'm going to take this car, I'm going to upgrade it up to A class, and then I'm going to meet you guys over at the Broadway Village circuit. Alright guys, so I am here at the Broadway Village circuit in the Corvette, and I have no idea what to expect out of this car. This car, it is a little heavier than the other cars. It's not heavy though. 2,750 pounds is what this car weighs. So it's by no means a heavy car. It is heavier than the other cars. I believe that's the heaviest one we've run, and I kind of expected that. But what I didn't expect was the power compensation. This car currently has 616 horsepower. I mean, that's S1 class territory. So this car is easily going to take the power crown for all of the cars we've driven around here thus far. And I don't have any problem believing that it's going to be able to put all of that power down. I haven't really given you a good example of that yet, because the rear tires are 3/4/5s. They are so big. I don't think this car can spin up the rear tires. We might actually struggle with understeer around here, which of all things is kind of funny, because the front tires are only 2/15s. So really skinny front tires, super fat back tires, almost double the width. But I do have the rear spoiler and the front splitter, so I've got all the aero options on the car. According to the statistics, this is one of the better handling cars that I've made. I never trust the statistics, they always tell you the wrong things. But just from driving it around here right now, it is very, very easy to drive, and I expected that. Uh, I did put the drag tires on it again. Drag tires are pretty much always going to be a thing at this point. I was also able to get the, what is it, the centrifugal supercharger, is that what it is? I got that on the car. One of the better aspiration conversion options in the game, because it gives you a lot of power for very little PI hit and not a lot of weight either. So it's generally a pretty good option. But in the case of this car, I don't know what to expect. It does already seem like it's got a little bit of understeer. I don't think I put any of the suspension options on it. So we'll see how it does. Just gonna kind of coast around this turn. And now I am going to go for it. Alright, and there you have it, a 51.498. There was one dirty lap in there. I'll need to go back and check that one. I didn't see what it actually was. But I don't think I'm going to consider the dirty laps as off limits for this challenge. As far as I can see, that 51.498, that seems pretty much right for this car. It was quite a lot of a handful, actually. Not that it was necessarily hard to drive, it was almost so easy to drive that I couldn't drive it correctly, if that makes sense. I kept understeering out of corners in the weirdest places. I think the back tires are a little too wide for the build. I think I probably could have done for some slightly wider front tires. It's all a learning experience, but I definitely felt that power. This thing accelerates like crazy. Obviously not the fastest car around here. Those issues with understeer were a little too much for it, but that is a pretty solid time. I'm not exactly sure where that'll put it on the leaderboard. Let me check real quick. Alright, so a 51498, if that is the time, that will put the car into 4th place on the leaderboards. So not the fastest, but that does set it right in between the TVR and the Mark III Toyota Supra. And yeah, that's a pretty good time. 4th place on the leaderboard. It's a pretty small leaderboard right now, but 4th place is pretty good. Uh, Good car, good looking car. In real life, it's a really good sounding car. In the game, it's a little bit annoying to listen to. But overall, pretty good. And anyways, I'm gonna end the video there, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you very much for watching. I hope you all have a good day. I'll see you later.